Welcome to the Reforged Marriage Podcast with Giff and Chad, where we look into what it means to be men with our wives. So we find that our marriage advice here is kind of masculinity advice in disguise. When you learn how to be a better man, you show up better in your marriage. How's it going, Chad?
What's up, sir?
Yeah, so this is a YouTube podcast, and so I'm supposed to tell you to like and subscribe and do the notification bell, but only like this video if you really like it. Only do the notification bell if, I don't know, if it serves your goals or something, man. You do what you want. That's a very important thing we get into. You hold frame, you build frame. You don't get strung along by what someone else is trying to get you to do. So you make your own decision about that. Chad, what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about having an argument, particularly beating your wife in an argument. A lot of guys really struggle with that. They feel like there's absolutely no way they can win. And so we're going to look into that. Specifically, what I want to dive into is a clip from a movie. I don't remember when it came out, but it's a clip from the movie The Breakup. And you said you saw that movie way back in the day?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I think literally probably like 20 years ago. Now I'm going to have to look up when this movie came out, but I feel like it was a really long time ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. And I haven't actually seen the movie. A lot of times clips that are really helpful for digging into relationship stuff come from bad movies, but the clip will be really good. And I think this one is too. They're like basically having every disagreement or argument or trope that you've ever seen or heard of a couple having, all stuffed into one scene.
Gratuitous breakup scenes can be frustrating, I think, sometimes in movies, though, because it's a lot of talking and plot set up sometimes, but we'll see. I haven't seen this in a long time. So.
All right, well, let's get into it. I'll play the first part.
Well, I'm gonna go do the dishes.
Cool.
It'd be nice if you helped me.
No problem. We'll get them a little bit later. I'm just gonna.
Oh, really old.
Here,
It's
come on.
like
I don't want to do them later. Let's just do them now. Take 15 minutes.
Oh, honey, I am so exhausted.
Sorry,
I just
three.
honestly want to relax for a little bit. If I could just sit here, let my food digest, and just try to enjoy the quiet for a little bit. Get some. That's what happens. And we will, we can clean the dishes tomorrow.
Here, I don't like waking up to a dirty kitchen.
Cares?
I care, all right? I care. I busted my ass all day cleaning this house and then cooking that meal, and I worked today. It would be nice if you said thank you and helped me with the dishes.
Fine. I'll help you do the damn dishes.
Oh, come on. You know what? No, that's not what I want.
You just said that you want me to help you do the
I
dishes.
want you to want to do the dishes.
Why would I want to do dishes? Why?
See, that's my whole point.
Let me see if I'm following this, okay? Are you telling me that you're upset because I don't have a strong desire to clean dishes?
No, I'm upset because you don't have a strong desire to offer to do the dishes.
I just did.
After I asked you.
Jesus, Brooke, you're acting crazy again.
Don't you call me crazy. I am not crazy.
I didn't call you crazy.
never call you
crazy. No, I didn't. I said you're acting crazy.
You know what, Gary? I asked you to do one thing today, one very simple thing, to bring me 12 lemons, and you brought me 3.
God damn it. If I knew that it was going to be this much trouble, I would have brought home 24 lemons. Even 100 lemons. You know what I wish? I wish everyone that was at that goddamn table had their own little private bag of lemons.
Gary, it's not about the lemons.
Well, that's all you're talking about.
I'm just saying it'd be nice if you did things that I asked. It would be even nicer if you did things without me having to ask you.
All right. So that's the first clip. So, yeah. What's she complaining about, man? He just like, she asked him to do the dishes and he finally was happy to do it. And now she's mad.
I think it was more than the dishes. I
It's
can't
not
remember.
about
I don't remember who it was, but I know they had like a big dinner or something, right? It was like, it wasn't just like it wasn't like they just ate dinner. I think it was like, they invited a whole bunch of friends over or something. So it was like an event.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't seen the movie at all.
That was the aftermath after like a large event, like a planned for, thought out event. And it looks like he just was not participating at all.
So yeah, the idea, he's like sitting on the couch playing the video game, trying to relax, just uh, wanting some peace, right? Yeah, get some.
Beating up
And,
random player character, non-player characters in Grand Theft Auto.
so this idea that it's not that I want you to do the dishes, I want you to want to do the dishes. And he's like, why? That does not compute. What does she really want?
I think she, in that moment, I think it was, she wants him to be part of that experience. Like he's just not invested. Like I think it was important to her to host this event, right? So it's like he's just not even participating in what they were doing at their house. Like, why did he not want to? Like, I would ask the question more about the character. I think his name's, what's his name? What's she called?
Gary.
Gary. Like, why is Gary not want to be participating in their own dinner party? Why is he not hosting it, planning the meal, and why is he so just out of the loop on it? You know, like why is he so dissident and separate? And did he not want to have the dinner party? Is he, you know, it's like,
well, and I think one of the things that I want to talk about with this is introduce to guys who maybe aren't real familiar with it, the concept of frame, and in a relationship, particularly the way a man kind of builds his frame, meaning sort of the structure that he builds with his life, the things that he cares about and is into, how he builds it, how he holds to it, and how he invites a woman into it. And so there's a lot of talk about mental load and the sort of just the work that goes into maintaining a house. Like women talk about all that time. That's a chick word, mental load. And there's this thought of, okay, well, he's not washing the dishes, and he's like, all right, fine. If we just split everything right down the middle, and so we had roughly the same amount of like household labor, then she would be happy because she wouldn't be overworked. But that's generally not really. I mean, they don't want to be slaved and just overworked all the time, but that's not really what they're complaining about. A lot of times it's more of feeling like they're enmeshed in his frame. And I think this was a very clear case where, you know, she didn't feel like she was, I don't know, what part of him at all, because all there was to him was this dude loafing on the couch.
yeah, she was hosting the party. She was planning the party. She was cleaning up at the party. She was running the show, and was missing him bringing his spin to it, or, you know, being, I don't know, in my experience, if I was having a group of friends over, I would be like super excited about it. I would be planning every detail of it and excited about it and making it an event, and not to make her happy, you know, just because I would be excited about what was happening. And I think she is upset that she's doing it all on her own, and probably doesn't feel like he's even seeing the work she's putting into it, right? So it's, you know, I want you to want to do the dishes, or, right, you know, I want you to want to be part of this event.
So one of the interesting things about this, and here's controversial perhaps, but it'll blow guys' minds, where a guy will be like, well, maybe he sees something like this, like, okay, well, she's overworked. She really wants me to pitch in. So I'm constantly going to her and I'm saying, okay, what can I do now? What can I do now? And like, you're being a really good, like a kid who's really good with his mom, right? He's always going up to her and asking what to do. And is that what she wants?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think in real life, like in our forums, there's a lot of guys that are doing all those things, you know, obsessively doing all those things. And their wife is still probably looking at them the same way Jennifer was looking at Gary in that clip.
Yeah. Well, there's a trap there. If your takeaway is that, hey, you know, I'll just pitch in and be more active, because that's often the immediate felt pain. But what I'll tell guys, and it'll blow their minds, and it'll make the women's, when women hear me say this, their guard will go way up. But it's like, do you realize that she would rather, a lot of times, would rather you came to her and told her to wash the dishes than she came to you and asked you to do it and you kind of grudgingly did it. It's like she would rather you told her what to do than to tell you what to do.
Yeah, I think when she says, I want to feel seen and appreciated, it's not the words that she's using, right? It's, I want to feel excited, right? It's
feel a part of something amazing.
It's
that I'm fired
save
up
me from this boring existence of doing the dishes and the work of my life.
Well, so what I'll say to the guys, and it'll just completely blow their minds, because I'll say something like that, and kind of to get a rise out of them, really. It's like, you realize you can like boss your wife around and she'll be happy about it? Like, no, man, that's insane. That's insane. It's like, try this. It's like, I'm headed up to take care of the bathroom. You know, that toilet's been giving us trouble. Honey, and it'd be great if you could take care of the dishes. And like, so many women in that situation is like, all right, he's getting out in front. He's doing something important. He's asking me to do something, particularly if it's like in support, like if it's not just a parallel task, but it's like a supporting task, that he's like asking for my help to do something, important.
Right. It's just involvement. It's direction to get what needs done. It's like, what women really want, right? More.
What do they want? What do they want more of?
They just want more. And so if they're going to try to overtly tell you what they're feeling, what they want, it's not going to come across right. Like you can't take that specifically for what they say. It's the feeling. It's the emotional excitement. That's what they want, right? It's the escape, like I said, from the boring. And you can provide that just being present and involved and leading the things that you want to do around the house, like it being my party, Yes. Well, it's my party. I'm stopping to get lemons because I'm making something with lemons, and like it's my party. And even when it's her party or our party, I'm gonna work it like it's my party, right? And yeah, that's exciting. That can be exciting that they're part of something bigger, So when they tell you specifically, I want you to want to do the dishes, or I want you, they're trying to communicate an emotional want through words. And when we are just listening to the words, we aren't picking up what they're telling us.
The feeling of him engaged, like in this clip, he's the opposite of engaged. Like they're exaggerated. He's completely checked out of everything.
Right.
And it's like the feeling of this guy engaged on a mission, going on the adventure of his life and bringing me into it, involving me, and therefore seeing me, right? Like the things that she's bringing in, her initiative fits into his, and she can, obviously he cares about it because it's contributing to what he cares about in life.
Right.
And that gets her excited.
That's my question, right? Like obviously he's the standard Hollywood buffoon dude, Right. I mean, I think it'd obviously be a little different in real life, but it's like my question watching this clip would be like, what's wrong with Gary?
Yeah.
Why?
What does he want?
Why are Gary's standards so low? What is he missing right now that he is, I'm just going to beat up random NPCs in GTA 3 and set people.
Yeah. Why is there not something to, even that, like, oh yeah, get some, like, is there anything, I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but is there anything in his life that he can have some of that fire about? Yeah. That she can see him doing that and actually moving them along? It's
I'm sure this meme is popular for the ladies, but it's all probably not for the right reasons. It's probably like, what is Gary not doing for Jennifer? And I would flip it and be like, what is Gary not doing for Gary here?
Right.
'Cause Gary seems
Right.
like he needs to do something for himself, I think.
And that's the trap. That's the trap that so many of the guys get into, where they're thinking, okay, so I just have to do more and more. Oh, I just want to crash on the couch because it can never be enough because she always wants more. And
Right.
that's why you don't chase her validation. You get fired up about something
Yeah.
and pull her along.
I think we're feeling this a little bit right now in my relationship. Like stuff just hasn't been. I have not been having as much fun going out lately, right? And so I'm not like, well, what's wrong with her? Why isn't what's with? I'm like, how do I mix this up? It's just the same old routines aren't doing it for me right now. I don't know, and I think a lot of it has to do with this stupid government shutdown and being furloughed for the last 2 months and me losing my mind in the house. That might have something to do with it. But so like last night we went and played English bingo, which was bizarre, Tonight we're going to some club in the city for like these DJ brothers hippie sabotage or something, just for no reason, just to like she could put on something exciting and I'll get her a drink and we will just get on the dance floor and like do some dirty dancing and like feel something. You know what I mean? Like that's literally the whole goal here, just to feel something, feel sexy, something like that. I just gotta figure something out that's inject some fun back into this. And it's not me being like, what is she missing? It's me being like, ugh, I'm just feeling a little ugh. Gotta mix it up.
Right. And I think with women there, a lot of times the things that they say, their complaints and everything else, they're like the warning light on the dash.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
It's
right.
Right. They're like letting you know that there's a problem. The solution to the problem may not be going up to her and being like, okay, what do I need to do? I'll follow each of those line items on your list. It's like, oh no, there's a warning. Let me look at the big picture, including listening to what she says, but not just that. Let me look at the big picture, look at what I want, and let me make some changes. So what do you feel you need to what do you want to do to make the most of the rest of this shutdown, however long it lasts?
Well, I don't know. I thought I was gonna like get in deep into a bunch of like professional training and knock some certs out or something, but that just, which I'm doing, but it's not as fulfilling as I thought it would be.
Not lighting your fire.
Nah, dude. I'm turning to try to get some projects knocked out around the house, getting wood stacked up for the winter, getting the stove ready. We're building a new deck out back, some stuff like that. But I don't know. It's something I'm working on. I gotta figure out, because this whole not barely working thing it's very frustrating.
It's not doing it for you.
No.
And I want to emphasize to our viewers here, this kind of thing is a call for leadership. It's like, if you want to be able to show up and lead in your marriage, you got to be leading yourself. And all of us run into these times like Chad is talking about, where just kind of a general malaise. We need something, we're not sure what it is. And if you were a good boss or something and a guy who reported to you was just kind of having a malaise, and you would say, all right, maybe he needs a new project. Maybe he needs some sort of new initiative. Maybe I need to sit down and talk with him. We need to figure out how to get some passion out of this guy. And you need to be a good leader in your home, you need to be doing that to yourself, being a good leader to that part of you that's feeling. Ugh.
That's why tonight we're going to a hip hop club for dirty dancing, because my wife is a country girl, so this is way out of her lane.
Yeah, that would be out of mine.
It's out of mine. Whatever.
All right. Well, we'll expect to hear a report. All right, let's jump into the next part of this clip.
Okay.
Because this gets into some of what we're talking about.
Well, I do seem to remember doing something for you this morning without you asking.
Gary, come on.
I'm
You know what?
serious.
No, I'm
Come here.
serious.
Him
I
too.
really am. Come on, you knew I was working today and I made that meal, and you could have thought to yourself, you could have said, I think I'm going to get Brooke some flowers.
You said
She
on
doesn't
our
really
very
want
first date
flowers.
that you don't like flowers, that they're a waste of money.
Every girl likes flowers, Gary.
You said that you don't like flowers. I'm supposed to take that to mean that you do like flowers?
No, it's not about, you're not getting it. You're not getting this, Gary. Okay, it's not about the lemons, it's not about the flowers, it's not about the dishes. It's just, how many times do I have to drop hints about the ballet?
You know I can't Brooke, come here. We talked about the damn ballet. I hate the goddamn ballet. You got a bunch of dudes in tights flopping around for 3 hours. It's like a medieval techno show. It's a nightmare. I sit there in the sweat. The whole thing. I do. When the hell's the goddamn nightmare gonna end? Go to a damn ballet.
It's not about you loving the ballet, Gary. It's about the person that you love loves the ballet, and you need to spend time with that person.
Not when they're at the ballet?
Okay, forget the ballet. Forget the ballet. We don't go anywhere together.
We just went to Ann Arbor together.
You gotta love
Ann
watching your
Arbor,
girl love
for the
stuff.
Michigan Notre Dame game. You think screaming drunk kids and leprechauns doing backflips, that's fun. That's fun for me.
So there. All right. Let's.
You gotta love watching your girl enjoy herself. Like that's gotta be something you enjoy. Otherwise, what are you together for? You know what I mean?
So there, various guys will. Yeah, I mean this clip definitely doesn't paint Gary in the best light. However, there is something relatable. It's like, okay, well, if my whole life is going and doing a bunch of stuff I hate because she wants to, and I'm being dragged along. I think guys at some point know that she doesn't really like that, and that they're going to hate their life, and it's not a solution. But then she's saying, well, how many times do I have to drop a hint about the ballet? Like, and so she's trying to communicate something, that she wants to feel something with him. And now Gary's solution is to do nothing.
Right.
But, the various nice guys will do all of it, and it's still not serving them.
Yeah, I would never get into a position where I'm just getting dragged along doing stuff I hate. But there's a lot of stuff that, like, I love watching my wife enjoy. I think there's a big difference between those two things. Like, I am not a country music fan, but, I could so get behind traveling to some awesome event for some incredible star that's been meaningful to her whole life, and watching her in her moment enjoy this experience or whatever, and facilitating that every step of the way. I have so much fun doing that there's no way you're dragging me along for anything.
Right.
I can't even mentally connect with that really. Like if I ever felt I was being dragged, I just wouldn't be participating. What do you need to be successful today? Okay, you're good. Have a good time. See, I'm going to go do this. It would be different.
Well, and that is a gift, because when you are participating, she knows it's genuine. She knows it's real.
Yes. Yeah. And it's emotionally meaningful to her. So and you have a great time. Like, I don't understand guys who don't have a great time with their wives. Like, it doesn't have to be only what I like to do to have a great time. I don't understand this. I don't understand guys that can't have a blast taking their wife to do something she thinks is awesome. I don't get that. Right. I have a good time facilitating that.
With me, there's one thing with her, like my wife, she loves concerts. She loves like bluegrass or, singer-songwriter sort of concerts. That's like, she comes alive. I think we were going to see the Avett Brothers for like New Year's Eve. Now, I don't like concerts, just in general. It's just like being in a room with just tons of people, for several hours, and just all the in and outs and everything else. And it's like, I would have enjoyed just as much as if we were listening to the music, down in the living room.
Sure.
And so in general, because of that, she'll end up taking to the boys to concerts, and it'll be like the thing they do with their mom, and they'll enjoy doing that together. But I will go with her sometimes. And when I do, what I enjoy at the concert is looking at my wife and seeing her in this almost like spiritual, experience, like just feeling the face of God as she's just like in the moment and listening to the music and feeling the energy and everything else.
Yeah.
And so that's the part of it that I like.
Yeah, and I can get into it too, even stuff that I don't dig. Like I can enjoy that with her as a together thing, right? I just like taking her to some winery with some no-name singer that's singing a bunch of 90s country, and we're like the only two people in there, you know, and 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 encouraging her to get to the point where she starts singing with the guy, you know, on stage doing their thing. And it's like this super memorable moment that I love that. I love that, even though that's not something I would ever do on my own.
So let's talk a little bit about this flowers thing, right? It's like she told him that flowers are expensive, waste of money. She doesn't like flowers. And now she's like, why don't you ever get me flowers? I mean, are women insane, or are they insane?
Women love flowers, but they hate it when you give it to them when they're expected, even though they would never tell you that. Like, I will never buy her flowers for Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, birthday, the day after amazing sex. I will send them to her office to get delivered in front of people, right? Or for some random no reason, if I'm at the grocery store, I will pick a selection of lilies and a bunch of stuff that matches and make a bouquet and be like, check out this awesome bouquet I made for our table, right? That has weight to it. Speaking of which, I haven't done that in a while. I probably should do that.
So that is fascinating. There's a difference there. There's something about like the Slavish, I made sure to check the right box for Mother's Day or Valentine's Day.
Right.
Aren't I a good boy? And that means nothing. It's like you might as well have like
you lost points there.
Yeah, you made it worse.
Mm-hmm. My Valentine's gift is generally I'll go and get like I buck Valentine's Day hard, but I will try to get like one of the boyfriend cards, because the husband cards are all like, you are my one and only and everything, and I am so unworthy, and you have brought so much beauty into my life. Then you read the boyfriend cards and they're like, I like your butt. We're gonna have a good time. They're completely different. So I will go buy a boyfriend card and just scratch out girlfriend or whatever and just write in wife or write in husband.
That's awesome. Pro tip for you guys.
Yeah.
Try the boyfriend cards. That is fascinating. I think we ought to go buy a selection and do an analysis.
No, they're night and day.
But
it's like Rolo's take on the Skittles man, right? I don't know if you've got. I know you were starting to read some Rolo. I don't know if you've got.
I did read. Just finished this guy, the Rational Male.
Does he talk about the Skittles man in there? I don't remember which one he talked about.
I don't remember.
It's the idea that real romance is not buying your wife flowers. It's the memories and the emotion she feels when she picks up your dirty shirt off the floor and just smells it. When you just, because you know she likes the peanut butter M&Ms, not the peanut M&Ms, and you pick those up at Sheetz on your way out, and you bought her a bag of candy, right? Like it's those things that really, you want to be the Skittles man, not the buy you flowers and all the other stuff kind of guy.
Well, because if you do that, like if you're just like chasing the checklist and everything else, then deep down there's part of her that knows I might as well be just writing my own love notes to myself, and he's just signing them, right? It means nothing. And so when you're just jumping through the hoops, you hate it and she hates it.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually the relationships are not a zero
authentic.
Right. And it's not a zero-sum game. It's not like, well, for her to win, I have to lose and we meet in the middle. No, it's actually you doing the things you like, you being the kind of man you're excited to be, that actually gets you some energy. That is what she likes.
Yeah. And buying her a pack of M&Ms because she likes it and you thought of it, right? You're like, oh, she's like,
yeah, I'm gonna get this for my girl.
There you go, babe.
It's like, and you feel good about it. You're like, oh man, I bet she's gonna be surprised. Well,
My
it's-
wife, I love it when I'm not like I I don't like to eat out too much. Like I try to keep the food pretty clean, and so it's hilarious every once in a while when it's just like, we're a little worn out. You know what? Let's just get a pizza tonight. My wife will be like, "Oh my God, that is the most romantic thing you have ever said to me."
So she wants the feeling of being in your frame.
Yeah.
Like that's the big thing. Are you building something with your life and are you inviting her in it? And so a lot of these guys will like, okay, I feel like I can never be good enough. I feel like I'm jumping through all these hoops. How do I win this argument? And one of the ways that you win the argument is you outflank it. You have higher standards for yourself than she does for you. I think that was Gary's big problem
Yeah.
with this. He didn't have high standards for himself or his life. And so even if he had changed and tried to meet all of her standards, they're still her standards.
And I bet most people, when they see this meme out on the Instagrams or whatever, will say his standards were too low for her and her expectations were too high of him, right? So you just flip that. He needs to have higher standards for himself.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. What is I going to say there? Because it's like when you have high standards for yourself, then you're not jumping through these hoops for her. You're not feeling stretched out and like you're just like constantly running and running and running. And I think that's where they're going to get next. He's going to feel like I can never do enough to satisfy her.
I mean, to be fair, in this movie, he's kind of a dork. I mean,
Well, that's not
he
the
lacks
point.
a
They're
great
putting them
deal
all
of
in this
attention to
one clip.
detail. Standard Hollywood.
Right. We
buffoon.
are stacking the deck ahead of him. But what we want to say ultimately with these arguments, you win the argument by outflanking the argument, by shifting the ground. A lot of times in a military situation, the enemy will be in an entrenched position, right? And it doesn't matter how many guys you throw, they'll all get mowed down. And there's no way you're ever going to unseat them. And so what you do is you actually have to move around to the side and attack from another angle, and they completely fold up. And so, in an argument, if you're at odds in your marriage, it's not so much as just pushing harder necessarily, it's shifting the ground. And that's what Gary ultimately needs to do here. He needs to shift the ground.
I feel like this argument is supposed to be pointing to a lot of deteriorating stuff in the relationship overall, kind of bubbling up in this moment, right?
Yep. And here we go. Let's watch the actual breakup.
Okay.
Come on, man. I did that for you. How do you show up for me?
I'm up on the bus every goddamn day.
I
Come
go to
on.
work.
I'm busting my ass to be the best tour guide in the damn city so I can make enough money to support both of us, and hopefully you won't have to work one day.
I want to work.
All I ask, Brooke, is that you show a little bit of appreciation, that I just get 20 minutes to relax when I come home instead of being attacked with questions and nag the whole damn thing.
You think that I nag you?
That's all you do! All you do is nag me. The bathroom's a mess. Your belt doesn't match. Hey, Gary, you should probably go work out. Nothing I ever do is ever good enough. I just want to be left the hell alone.
Oof.
Really? Is that what you want, Gary? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
That's what you want?
Yeah.
Fine, great. Do whatever the hell you want. You leave your socks all over this house, dress like a pig, play your stupid ass video game. I don't care. I'm done.
What?
I am done. I don't deserve this. I really do not deserve this. I deserve somebody who gives a shit. I'm not spending one more second of this life with some inconsiderate prick. You're a prick.
There you go.
I do feel like the whole thing could have kind of been saved with this fairly simple conversation.
What is that?
Just like authentically, rationally talking through what you guys are trying to do, what you need, rather than just exploding like a crazy person.
Well, that's true. That's true. But there's some interesting things here. First of all, it's like, look at all the stuff I'm doing for you. I'm doing a job that I hate. I'm going on this this slog of a commute. I'm doing,
Yeah.
I'm living this crazy life that I hate so that you can have some benefit.
Right.
Why doesn't she appreciate that?
Because women just want more. No.
That's right. They just can't ever have enough.
Because her experience is her experience. You can't demand that she lives in what your experience is. You have to give some credit to the reality her emotions are, what the reality her emotions are in that moment, right?
Well, I mean, are they even? I can't even remember. They're just like they haven't been together that long in this. But there's
I don't even know if they're
this
married.
concept. There's this concept of the covert contract. I think it was. This is No More Mr. Nice Guy, Robert Glover. And he talks about this idea of this covert contract where you've got, in his idea, he's got this agreement, right? I do the job I hate. I go on the commute I hate. Therefore, when I get home and I've done all these things I hate and she, bills are paid, therefore she appreciates it and lets me play my video games. It's like, we made this deal. And the problem with covert contracts is that you made them with you, yourself, and I in your head. And, he's basically saying, look, I did my part of the deal. You're not keeping up your end of the deal. They never made a deal.
Right.
Right. And I don't think she actually wants you to hate your job or your life.
No.
Like that was, you shouldn't want to hate your job and your life. I mean, granted, we do what we can do and get what we can get, but there's nothing intrinsically virtuous about having a life you hate.
Or demanding she respect your sacrifice, right? And framing the work you put in as being something you're doing for her attention, right?
Right.
And I think completely missing the whole secret sauce to long-term married game, which is always keeping in mind that honeymoon energy, right? It's if you're going in for the long-term game, it's not just it's not a contract. You're not just here's our roles, and no one likes that forever, right? It's and it's not understanding how women really work with what they kind of need emotionally in a relationship, right? It's they got to feel some emotional excitement. And if you can't figure out how to feed that into the relationship on your terms in a way where you're enjoying your life, she's going to look for it somewhere else. And all those romance novels, or if it goes on long enough, and somebody else, right? So that was like you in the beginning. So,
right.
And you got to think about why it was so great in the beginning. What was great about it for her? What were you bringing there in the beginning, and what did you stop doing? It's I think about that a lot, just for my own sake, not going crazy. I like to do stuff fun, and I know that is what keeps the two of us glued together is just keeping it fun. So it's literally worth doing. All the work she does, all the boring stuff she does, all the boring stuff I do, what are we doing it for if it's not fun? Right?
Yeah. There's now I want to hit back on one thing, or circle back on one thing. There's a question when you're having an argument like this. Okay, what could Gary have done? Well, and there's a lot of stuff. Okay, there's some structural stuff that's just messed up that can't be solved in an argument. Nevertheless, there is some things that he could have said and done or not done. And it's really to shut up, actually draw her out. What are you frustrated about? Now, she actually communicated in some ways fairly well, though she was like, well, it's not actually about the ballet. It's not actually about the lemons. It's not actually about, like, seems like you don't feel real connected.
I think at the point where the argument started, just sitting on his ass all day while they are planning a large party at their house, and then jumping straight on to Grand Theft Auto, like it's hard to talk your way out of that.
Hard to salvage that one with talk. Yeah, no, there's one of my favorite.
He's kind of
one of my favorite lines is like, "There's nothing that builds trust with women like results."
Well, it's
Like,
just like, had he, there would not have been an argument if it was his party. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It just wouldn't have
Right.
been one. And
But to try to draw it out a little more, I was talking to a guy who messaged me on X, who may be joining us for Reforged Marriage.
cool.
And he sent me some texts where he was going back and forth with his wife, and she was just arguing with him about things. She was arguing with him about like some changes he had been making in the relationship when he was like following some of my advice, and he was explaining to her, no, this is why this is good, and no, you're right. Here, let me explain better. And it just wasn't landing. And what I said to him was, stop defending yourself, because implicit in defending yourself is this assumption that I need to defend myself. Like, if I don't win the argument,
Right.
then I'm not going to do what I believe is the right thing to do. And wait a second, is that true? Is it true that if she says something and I don't like correct what she's saying, that I therefore have to do what she says?
Right. She wasn't even like insulting or calling him names there, so I don't know what he even needed to correct. He was just kind of being a baby in the movie. And
In the movie, but I'm talking about this interaction that I have with this guy where he's constantly trying to explain himself.
yeah.
And what I told
Demonstrate,
him,
never explicate.
and say it again.
Demonstrate, never explicate.
Demonstrate,
That's another tattoo idea.
never
Explicate.
explicate.
Talk about it. Talk and talk. This is how I'm gonna do it. This is why I'm gonna do it. This is how much you're gonna love watching me. I'm just gonna do it.
Just do it.
Watch me do it and let you feel how good you feel.
It goes so much
doing
better.
it.
And what I told this gentleman is like, don't defend yourself. Don't explain. Ask questions about how get curious about why she feels. Because it's like, okay, she thinks something crazy and wrong. Okay, well, why does this beautiful woman who you love and selected to be your wife, why does she nevertheless think something crazy? Are you curious? Are you genuinely curious why she thinks the crazy thing? And with that, not manufactured curiosity, but actually genuine curiosity, just dig a little. So why do you feel that way? Gosh, honey. And she dug into it a little bit. And then afterwards, she like collapses into his arms. And he was like, dude, that totally worked. It was, and there's been many situations like that. It's like, guys, let her say her thing. Listen to her without feeling like you have to just carry out what she says as marching orders. If you don't need to do that, if you don't need to follow her marching orders, then you're free to listen without having to correct. Because it's
being
not a threat.
Insulted, right? Be unaffected. I like the word unaffected. Be very unaffected. It's emotional outburst. It doesn't mean whatever dumb mean thing she's saying is you have to be completely affected by it and respond to it and defend yourself. You know.
Yeah. Well, this is awesome stuff, and that's sort of tying it all up. You know, the way you beat your wife in an argument is to stop treating it like an argument,
100%.
and to just show up, to not be threatened that she's disagreeing with you, to be curious about what's going on, and to be very much living your own life, charting your own path, and inviting her in.
I tend to my way of beating arguments is like only ever being like 20% serious. And it works pretty good for me, but I have to kind of recorrect myself a little bit, so I am at least validating what she feels and not just rolling right past it. But keeping it on the funny side, the whole that really seems to work and bring her out of it sometimes, from a directional kind of leadership place where like you are unaffected, like I said, by the mess she's feeling, the emotion she's feeling. You're not overwhelmed by them. You almost find them funny. They're amusing to you because you are so capable. you have such ability to handle her mess and your mess and whatever mess that it's just not a terrible event for you. And it's like,
Right.
I can
You
handle
take
this plus, and let's move through this. Here's what we do.
you take her seriously, but you don't necessarily take every little quip she says seriously.
Exactly. Yes.
Right.
That's the balance.
And she wants that because that's honestly a lot of times women, especially, you know, depending on where they are in their like hormone cycle and everything else, if she is feeling unsteady in her, she really wants to find something firm that is banging up against, rather than that something that folds and bends with every outburst she makes.
Right. Which is right. And when you react to her emotion with more emotion, it just gets worse and worse. And then everybody's screaming and throwing stuff. And it's not where you want to go.
Not a good place. Well, awesome, Chad. This is a great conversation. Just a few things with the Reforged Marriage group. We got another one cohort scheduled in the winter. So January is when we're starting up with that one. And I think I've already got like 3 guys that have said they're signed up 2 months early, which is huge. And yeah, so very excited about that. If any of y'all want to like take your marriage to the next level, especially if you've got like a low sex marriage or something where you're not really sure how to get out of the rut you're in.
When guys sign up early like that, do they get into the forums early?
Yeah, just straight into you'll have immediately have the content immediately at the forums, can chat with the guys who've been through it, and kind of get a head start. Those guys tend to do really well. There's one guy who was a graduate of, I guess, last year's winter cohort. His name is Nates, and he's from Slovenia.
I remember him.
Yeah. Anyway, he back when I was working on the book, and I had a manuscript of the book, and he read it while he was in the cohort, and he was all over this book, The Way of Men with Maids, Forgotten Christian Wisdom for Becoming a Man Who Wins at Love. He was like super into it, and he was like, dude, this is incredible. I want to read it to my sons. This book needs to be translated into Slovenian, because he's from Slovenia, which a lot of guys I know, I was telling some guys, they don't even know where Slovenia is. Turns out it borders Italy and Austria, so you really ought to know it. It's like right smack by Venice. Anyway, it's a very small it's a small European country of 2 million people.
I didn't know.
Yeah, no, like I just did because of this book back here, The Island of the World. Holding a lot of books, but this is an excellent book, and it's set in Croatia, but he goes through Slovenia at one point. Anyway, he reaches out. This ought to be translated into Slovenian, and it's like, I don't even have an English Kindle version, dude. And he's like, well, can you send me the documents, like the InDesign documents and stuff, and I'll just assemble a translation team and do all the layout and do everything. And I was like, here, dude, go at it. And I expected that's the last I'd hear about it, because this is real work. You know, this takes a lot of time. And then, 3 months go by, and he's like, okay, so we're almost done, and we're thinking about the rollout and everything else. And I've even got a local printer set up to print it. And it's like, wow. And he's like, so here, and we're having a retreat in November. This is 2 weeks from now.
Oh,
and
wow.
40 guys are going to show up, and all of them have bought the book and are going to read it ahead of time. And we'd like you to teleconference in and give a speech. And
Look at you.
so this is 2 weeks from now, and it's like, we're going to get a picture. We're all going to hold the book, and it's in Slovenian, and they're all like super excited about it.
I love that.
And what we're going to do is all the profits that are sold with the book, at least until we get enough, will be to like fly you and your family out to Slovenia. You're going to stay in this monastery where my friend is, and you'll go and do book signings. And it's like, what is happening?
I love that, dude.
So that's exciting for me, who, you've been part of this. It's just trying to, we're guys. We've tried to fix our marriages and found a lot of the conventional wisdom hasn't served us, but we found things that really do, and trying to tell other men about it. And
now we
I
just
think the
see
world's
this
hungry.
hurt everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
Want to like, bro, listen to me, please.
It can be so good. It can be so good. And you don't have to like follow the advice that says, no, just keep slogging. Just do whatever she says. Just figure out your love languages. And I was like, no, you can be on fire as a man. You can be so passionate about life, and she'll love it, and you guys will love your life together. And so to be able to see that brought together with the gospel of Christ, like that's a lot of what I'm doing. I held up Rollo's book a second ago. I'm reading it for the first time after reading my book. I'd say about half of it is amazing, and about half of it is kind of awful. Like as far as just how like it's the women, the female, the feminine imperative has ruined everything.
He's like a scientist.
I
really
know.
like his I really like the way he talks about innate biological firmware, right?
Oh, I love that.
With
I
the
absolutely, like I said, anything about
emotional
game.
software and social programming on top of it. I just think that's a really cool analogy.
Well, we got to talk about it some. I want to go through it because it's such an important book, in the manosphere.
Yeah.
I want to actually go through the book, and it's kind of like I did with Nancy Pearcey's book, where I like sort of pull out sections and give my like comments on it. Kind of
Rollo's content, I think, is super important for someone who is unplugging from this kind of old school way of thought of sacrifice for her respect and sex. When you're unplugging from that, I think his content is super helpful. A little shocking and dark. I know that when I went through it, I definitely needed a couple years to come out of the darkness. Like, it's so dark, and then it's like, wait, there's a reason for putting in the work, and discovering that we are actually better together. So that's the one thing I think is really missing from Rollo's work is the light at the end of the tunnel. There's no light in his content.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Very negative take on marriage, and honestly, I think not enough sympathy for the women. Like, I don't want to trade places with them.
Yeah.
Like, no, like I don't want to. Come on. Like,
well,
really?
like our societal progress towards feminism and everything, from his perspective, is like a concerted effort on their part to like take over the world. And I just think it's the way the world is moving, and to accept that and work with it towards your best interest as best as you can is kind of a better way to look at it. Not that we're
absolutely
in this
that
fight
little
for existence.
That little aside. And I think it actually holds men back if they see women themselves as the force behind the lies they've been hearing and stuff. It's like, actually, the way post-industrial societies work, the way it's fragmented men and women and everything, and feminism responding, all that hasn't actually served women all that well either. And so, don't just, if you see women as the enemy, you're gonna set yourself back as a man.
You're gonna point too many fingers and say, this is why I'm not getting what I want, and not hold yourself accountable to go out and get it.
Right.
Which is really
and then things won't get better. Right. It's amazing how things get better when guys just go out and do things.
Amen.
Right. Yeah.
All right, Chad. Tonight, I'm just gonna go out, do some dirty dancing.
Do a lot of things. Well, really excited about some things going on with the book, with Reforged Marriage. Just always glad to talk.
Yes, sir.
And look forward to seeing you in the next one.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon.